Hi, I'm Caitlin Mulgard and I play guitar.
Hi, I'm Moon and I play the drums.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I play bass.
Hi, I'm Callie and I play lead singing and guitar.
And we're Bad Waitress! Yo, we fucking killed that shit.
Yeah.
I play lead singing.
Last week too. I'm like, how do I say this?
There definitely is gaps. I think it's gotten a lot better over the past few years for sure. My way of kind of working with that was to create a character called Eva Mann in my early 20s, and that was kind of like my, I guess, how do you say it? Like, I don't know, my armor, my answer to that. And I was like, well, if I have to like kind of play in a predominantly like boys club, why not be one of the boys, but like in my own way sort of thing. And I think that really helped me become more comfortable with myself and also figure out my gender identity over time as well. And that kind of like all sort of came together bit by bit. But I also did play with women as well in that band too. There was a couple of us on and off that would predominantly like kind of cycle through sometimes. And I was pretty lucky to have some like cool, stronger female like role models and stuff around me too. And I don't know, it definitely taught me to have a tougher skin, but I do feel that the more that we've talked about those things as a community, it's gotten a lot better. Still have a lot of work to do moving forward, I think still, but yeah, I don't know. You kind of just like deal with it as it goes, and I learned how to find my voice and not take anybody's shit. So I think that's like a big thing I got out of it. And then I ended up here, which is pretty great. So it all worked out.
Kind of a funny story because Caitlin was actually involved in it before they joined us later in the New Dogs. We were asked to like join this band with this other person, the Cinnamon Hearts, and it exploded basically. Like, I mean, we just got so famous now, but no, it just it exploded. But
It was basically like this this girl we all knew loosely coerced us into getting together in a shed, and we didn't know each other at the time. And then, so I don't know what happened. She like spaced out, went to go like find pizza for us or something, and we all started jamming together. It was very like just spontaneous, and we never played together before, and it kind of just left a really good impression on us that we kind of like dug working together. So,
and then like me and Moon made the New Dogs, and Caitlin went and did like Seraphic Lights.
I don't know. I just did something
Yeah, I
else.
was doing something else.
I was
And
way
then-
over there.
Then we like found a bassist, Jess, and then things evolved, and then Caitlin was like lingering outside the jam space we were in at this old house, like music house.
It's true.
And they were like, "Do you know any like bands like I could join?"
Do you happen to know any like really cool, sick bands that need maybe another guitar? You
Yeah,
know?
we're like,
not necessarily you guys,
don't
and
be
I'm also asking for a
stupid.
friend. So yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, and then they joined the band.
I can tell you that.
We were growing up.
Because one time I went on someone else's computer that wasn't mine, and I typed in the Nude Dogs, and the shit I saw I could never unsee. So I figured
weird.
maybe for just so nobody else has to see that stuff, we changed our
It was
band.
an accident. It was an accident. But
Yes.
yeah, so we the label maybe like suggested it. We weren't forced to do it, but we went through probably like 1,000 different names before.
Butt mustard.
Oh my god! Butt mustard was a good option.
Glass flask.
Oh, they were all terrible.
We wanted to name our band the sound that Hannibal makes when he's talking about fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I think that
like,
was,
how do you even
Jess's
spell that?
idea, for sure.
We went through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then one day, Callie was sitting at the bar while I was working, and I think I sprayed like Clamato on a customer or something, and she was like, "Wow, you're a really bad waitress." And I was like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, so Caitlin was the inspiration for the name.
I'm so shitty.
But I think we've all been bad waitresses at some time in our life. So, waiters, waitresses. Yeah. I know Moon has a story.
When I cut myself with bread, bad busboy. I mean, there was a knife involved, you know, but like, I basically was cutting bread in the middle of like, I don't even know. It happened so fast, and then I couldn't find Band-Aids, and then it was just the whole thing. I'm like, the middle of like the rush, like the dinner rush, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. It was pretty funny.
So that was your first and last shift as.
Yeah, I got fired shortly after. I'm a kitchen bitch. That's like, I'm meant to be in the back with the dishes, away from the customers. It's like,
I feel like conviction is a word that you use, Caitlin.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
I use a
Caitlin,
lot of
take
words.
that.
I think I meant committed. Well, he said convicted. Convicted.
give us time.
Yeah. Fuck. I said conviction because I think that in order to be a good performer and just to be genuine with what you're doing, you have to have a conviction and you have to just go all out. And I think that, like, for instance, like an actor, a good actor, like no matter how rehearsed, no matter how prepared, like when they dive into their role, their character, it breathes life into it in a totally different way. And I think that Bad Waitress kind of does that well, just really well, in a live setting for sure. Yeah, just like get all like demony and crazy and just weird, awesome. Someone want to take this away from me now, please? Thank you. I can only speak for myself, okay?
I think that was referring to that sounded weird. To like, I guess the lyrics. I get what that was what that was referring to, but yeah, I mean, like we've all gone through trauma, right? We all have that story, and I think like we are all like very lucky to be like in this band and be able to like express ourselves and use what we've gone through. And yeah, like it comes out in our music in a lot of different ways, I think. I don't.
If anybody has pointers on how to take care of ourselves, please help us.
I smoke a lot of weed. I watch a lot of Drag Race.
A lot of porn.
My cat Ellie has a really fuzzy belly, so
Cats definitely help.
yeah, I love you, kitty. That's what kind of keeps me like safe. Also, Moon and I just discovered how much we love fucking doing yoga.
Yeah.
YouTube, free, so fun.
Got a yoga ball. I
So
roll
limber.
around on it sometimes.
We
I've
limber
been doing
as
stuff.
shit.
I can touch my toes now.
I
Like,
mean, Katya's a classic.
yeah, classic. Bob the Drag Queen. Honestly, I'm really loving Raja O'Hara right now this season, and Trinity K. Bonet has impressed the shit out of me. It was like killing it. Alaska, Thunderfuck.
Yeah, I love Alaska.
Like, oh my God. What video did we do that you dressed up like pound cake?
I didn't even mean to dress up
But
like
it totally happened. It was great. It was so good. It was for What Do I Want, right?
Yeah.
I like the
Oh, Dragula?
Dragula.
Yeah.
more.
The goth version. Hmm? Oh, yeah.
Heck yes, they're so good.
I love Bimini. Yeah.
Also, like, shout out to Boulay Brothers, too. Like, they're honestly, in terms of, like, what they've done with drag, like, reality TV and kind of opening it up to drag kings and bio queens and, like, a variety of different people. And, like, they kind of, I feel like that was sort of the push also for, like, RuPaul's Drag Race to kind of be like, oh, yeah, we also need to, like, now.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
get in, like, you know, like, progress, essentially, like,
Yeah.
moving forward and stuff, opening up to different people. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
My favorite drag performer of all time though is actually local, and their drag name is Gay Jesus, and they're my fucking hero.
I mean, the art of drag, anybody can do it. At the end of the day, it's just like if you know, you create your personas and stuff, and you dress it up however you want to, and
Yeah.
it's like kind of what.
And it's kind of like the
you as a band sometimes.
yeah, totally. And I feel like RuPaul's kind of like contradicting himself when he says, you know, we're all born naked and the rest is drag, but then okay, so so why can't everybody else, you know, other contestants come on that aren't just gay men, you know? So pretty rad to have it open up to more people.
This is my fault for saying punk jazz that one time.
Yeah, this is your fault.
I'm sorry. I mean, for me personally, as a drummer, it really helped a lot with like my fills and like learning how to do fills in a more like in a little bit of a different way, like creating my own style.
And a spontaneous way.
Yeah,
There's a lot of improvisation.
a lot of improv. Yeah, even when I have my parts down, it sometimes it's not exactly accurate than when I play them on stage. But
I mean, and for me, for guitar, I've been playing many different styles for like 20 years. And that's definitely come into play, especially when I'm trying to like analyze like the bizarre like weaving in and out of different keys that some people do. And it's really exciting to dissect it afterwards. It's like I get this weird untethered chaotic like creation, and then me trying to figure out, yeah, I'm talking about you motherfuckers over there. And then and then making sense of it is really quite like an intellectual challenge for me. And then sometimes I can't, so I just end up making alien sounds.
Yeah. Callie and I have like the least formal training between all of us, and so we'll be at practice just like jamming, and Caitlin's like, so what key is this in? And Callie and I are just like, I don't know.
I literally do it passive aggressively now because I know they're not going to be able to tell me.
but it's cool because that means like we get to learn from Caitlin.
You're welcome.
Like, Moon.
I'll bill you later.
I know what a chromatic scale is.
Yeah, you fucking do.
Well, I mean, it's sick that they're a bunch of dudes and they like pay attention to the world outside of their privilege. And they use their platform to educate people and like try to make people feel comfortable, and that's like very refreshing to see from a bunch of guys in bands. Because I remember Caitlin like put them on in the car one time before I knew who they were, and immediately I was just like, oh, it's another dude band, like whatever. But then we started listening, and I was like, oh, it's so much more. And they're just really dope. They make really great music.
Yeah, I think it's really refreshing. They're very refreshing to have such like just heavy, just music that's so cathartic in so many ways, but also to have like feminism and racial issues addressed as well. And yeah, just like, you know, it's nice to have people who clearly didn't come from much money like getting to talk about that from their perspective instead of boasting about success and blah blah blah, and or just saying something vapid about rocking out, you know. It's really nice to be able to like walk down the street and be singing along to like, you know, them making fun of Donald Trump and like, you know, like people, like I love the idea of making fun of rich people. It's so much fun. But the lyrics there's a lot of comedy in their lyrics.
Until we're rich, and then we'll, you know, we join the ranks.
Yeah. I mean, until that one day. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So yeah, I would really, really friggin' love to play with idols more than any band currently.
Many idols, like
Hello. Oh, dang.
We actually only recorded with him for the LP. We only had the one experience with him, but he was recommended to us by our label because like he's done a bunch of work with Pup and I think some other people. Yeah, Oh Baby Give Me More. I think they used him as well. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. System of a Down. Alanis Morissette.
So initially we were kind of like, I don't know, we don't know him, like maybe it's kind of weird, but then we had a phone call with him one day at practice and he like put his dog on the phone with us.
Oh yeah.
And he was really nice and we were like, cool, like let's work with him. And he came in, he like heard our songs, and he just kind of like tweaked them a little bit. And I know that like I'm kind of initially a bit defensive when people, I don't know, come in and like give their 2 cents on our songs. But he had like some really valuable insight. He didn't come in trying to like change everything. He was just like, that note's like a bit dissonant, like, you know, or like maybe we should just like add a little part before this chorus or whatever. Yeah. And he definitely like just elevated the songs a little bit. And then being in the studio with him, we didn't use click tracks, which like I wasn't used to. I'd never recorded like that before. So I was kind of like, but it felt really organic the way that he did it. And like, I don't know, I really liked his energy. It was good.
If he wanted to adopt us, we would say, yes, please.
call him Dad, so.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad! And I was like, shit.
Yeah, like I still think about the things that he like kind of said to us in terms of like, especially when we were doing like pre-production, and like for one song in particular, it's like just it seems like a super basic beat, but like to keep it steady, it was really hard for me at the beginning. And then like I still think of Dave like on the couch like boo ka boo boo ka, and like we'll be doing a show and I'm like okay.
It's like he's always with you in your head.
Yeah, just like they're staring at me, fucking scaring the crap out of me. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm not intimidated. I'm so intimidated right now.
But yeah, he like really captured the energy, I think, because like we are very much like a live band. Like I want people to come see us live because like that's where we really deliver. And I think that can get lost in translation sometimes when you record. And he fucking nailed it. Like like the album is what it is because of his work and ours as well. Like it's such a good balance of both of our inputs.
Why do I always get these ones? Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, so as I'm not just a musician, I'm also a bartender. That's my job. So it is literally my duty to make sure that people are safe and comfortable, and make sure those spaces are available to them. As someone who is non-binary, I want to feel safe. I want to feel like I can walk into anywhere and not get sexually harassed, misgendered, ridiculed, unseen, you know? So, like, I want... And I guess the thing is like, we're all, like, a little bit older than some of our fans now. A lot of young adults in their early 20s and stuff, like, the queer community is a lot more out, but that also means that the contrast of our fans versus like this clash of generations it could pose a problem. So it's important for us to make known our politics, our stance, just to be open and proud of that gives people who might be a little bit more bigoted a chance to not show up. First of all, they can fuck off. And yeah, I think that also like growing up in a community where it was male dominated, no offense to like the amazing men out there that are there to create safe, wonderful places for us. But we've all been the victim of sexual harassment, rape, just diminished like tokenism, being told that, you know, oh, you guys are only so successful because you're all women. First of all, we're not. Second of all, that's bullshit. We work our asses off. And so we also, like, for instance, Moon, growing up playing with mostly older men, it was their duty, not ours, to ensure safety. They're older, more experienced, and they know, like, they've been around. And if they take advantage, that's their fucking problem. So it's basically just calling out that bullshit is what I'm saying. Visibility and accountability. Yeah. And I'll fucking come for your ass.
I think a big thing too is like people need to just listen when someone speaks out and says like, hey, I've had this like shitty experience with so and so, or like in this community or whatever, and like not just writing that off. Just because I think a lot of guys, you know, like if you're like, hey, like your friend, you know, said this to me, made me really uncomfortable. Well, they're my friend, they haven't said that kind of stuff to me. Well, they're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, you need to take into account the fact that like your friends can be really shitty outside of who they are to you. Your friends can be racist or sexist or transphobic, and they're not going to show that side of them to you. So like you need to be able to listen when someone calls people out, and then like take that as an opportunity to like educate your friends and make sure that like they're not going to be dicks to other people, and you need to keep yourself in check too, you know.
Yeah, and like try yeah, really. And like trying our best to like create more restorative spaces in terms of like restorative justice and things like that for people, and trying our best like through that, like what Caitlin and what we're all saying is just like listen to people, listen to each other, don't just assume that somebody is like lying right away, and like actually opening up conversation to talk versus like I think a lot of the times we go into pointing fingers or then not actually creating solutions, and then there's a lot of anger feel to it, and there's nothing wrong with anger because that comes with it, and we need to be able to like express that in a way that's safe for us as well to do that, right? And yeah.
Also, just like the insidiousness of like misogyny that we all have to kind of like dissect within ourselves, and like, you know, for instance, like when I was growing up, I was sexually assaulted by someone who I thought of as an authority figure, but I just took it in stride and was like, well, I gotta be tough. I can't complain about that. I can't deal with that. That is a ingrained taught thing. It's if that happens to you, that's not your fault. That's somebody else's fucking fault. And I think that acknowledging that and knowing that like you don't have to buck up, you don't have to be like super strong and like take that shit. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be a given that like rock stars and whatever are gonna prey upon their fans, their groupies or whatnot. They should be like held accountable for that, and I'm really fucking glad that that's happening, and people are, you know, people who are basically like untouchable are finally being like the light is being shed on their shit. So yeah, I just wanted to put in that statement.
Like hopefully with us being at a place where we feel comfortable sharing these things, that in turn will help continue those conversations. And for people who are in like younger than us or even like around our age, like doesn't necessarily matter wherever you are in your place in life, that if you've gone through hard shit and like haven't found your voice, hopefully with us being able to do that, and we're given this platform to do that, that it will in turn empower them to do the same. because we've had, I think, like a lot of people through so many reasons have had their voices taken away from them for so many different reasons for so long. And it's our responsibility to try and...
Stop it.
I put makeup on.
It's making me cry.
But yeah, it's important. Yeah, totally. You know, and I understand too for people who don't feel comfortable always talking about those things, and hopefully, yeah, this just helps them, even if they don't want to share it, to just know you're not alone, essentially, in this, right? So, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go touch up our makeup now.
It was a lot of things. I think the pandemic obviously was a huge struggle for everybody, but we definitely had our own struggles, like in our own, like individually and as a band. It definitely was hard to go through, like not being around each other, like because we were pretty used to like being around each other all the time, and then we were all going through like our own personal struggles and like not really being able to like talk properly and like, you know, like a lot of things. But I think in the end we came out stronger. Like we do, like I feel like we're pretty solid. We have some stuff brewing.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic hit, we were working on like some new songs. But we're like excited, like we just started jamming again like recently. So we're excited to like definitely make new music.
I mean, I think like our energy, like show-wise, hasn't changed. If anything, it's just gotten like more frenzied. We were lucky enough to like play at Houndstooth because they have like a setup where the band plays inside, like behind some windows, and then people watch on the patio, and it was like so nuts.
That was psychotic.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I didn't realize how much pent-up energy I had.
Yeah.
Just like, no.
I literally like in between like doing like gang vocals and backups, I had to step away from the mic because I was like full on like screaming and like I was just
like screaming random stuff in the middle of like nowhere too. I was like,
I was basically just
are they okay?
I was just so fucking happy to be playing guitar at like full volume, just like it was chaos. It was amazing.
There's so much sweat in my eyes and it burned. So
I think we all just like making absolute fools of ourselves on stage. So if people come to our shows and like watch us be idiots, then like they can feel free to also be idiots. You know what I mean? Like just dance really stupid and like move around and like scream, whatever.
I feel like we've all tried the try to be cool thing and we just fucking fail horribly. So what's the point? What's the point?
After we played, I literally could slide across on my knees. There was so much sweat on the ground.
I also accidentally poured club soda into my eyes.
Maybe it was a club soda, but I was like, I'm like slip and slide. Like, woo.
Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, it wasn't much forethought.
Yeah, we definitely know that we're growing and we're always growing. And even this like album we're about to put out is like a different level from Party Bangers for sure.
But it's also just a moment, and then there will be more moments. Yeah. And I think that keeping that kind of dynamicism and like active progression of everything is just kind of like our journey as people and our journey as Bad Waitress. It's not, this is a great moment for Bad Waitress right now, but
and as friends, like,
but it's just like we're gonna have a bunch of more moments.
Quite a long
This is what we fucking love doing. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
till we die.
Too bad.
Yeah. So suck it up, world. We're coming for you.
Didn't ramble too much.
Oh my god, you did great. I'm so proud of you. I was like, holy shit, have you been like rehearsing in front of the mirror talking to yourself?
Oh, I talk to myself every day.
Yeah. But like actually, like you killed it.